How's everybody doing today? How's life? We're talking a lot about life. We're talking about healing. We are gonna talk about healing. Anybody doing some healing with intention? Anybody putting in the work to do some healing with intention? Greetings, man, warriors. Greetings. Greg is back. We are on here. We're gonna be talking about healing. Healing. Anybody doing any kind of healing right now? I think a lot of times when we think about healing, it's usually what, coming off of an injury. We get injured, right? If you get injured, you have like a physical injury, you're like, yeah, I'm healing up. Or maybe you get a big cold, right? You're like, yeah, been sick, but I'm healing, I'm feeling better. I think a lot of people have a hard time relating healing to mental, emotional, spiritual things, right? To really consider that as like, that's an important healing. Is there a more important healing? Do you know that there's probably a lot of you right now that a lot of your physical ailments are probably related to some of the mental, some of the mental illness that's going on there? And I'm not a therapist. I am a spiritual healer, but I definitely know that your thoughts create your reality. And if you're anything like most people, you're probably thinking a lot of negative thoughts each and every day, right? And if you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts each and every day, then guess what? That means that there's probably a lot of side effects to those negative thoughts. But a lot of times we don't want to, it's hard to really admit that because we're so close, we're so busy. I think most people are just too busy right now in life. Are you somebody that falls in that category? Right? Who here actually makes time every day to just reflect, to just be still, be quiet, relax, no TV, no social? Those things can't be there, right? So the television's off, the social's off. I mean, even music, like certain types of music, even that should be off. I'm talking about real quiet, the real quietness, the solitude of yourself. Most people, is that like one of the most uncomfortable things to do? Is that why we don't like to do it? I think that's why. Is that why you don't like to do it? Because being in the quietness of your mind, of your heart, of your body is uncomfortable. I think that's probably one of the things I'm most grateful for, especially putting the message out, is when we gather like this on the streams. And again, if you haven't heard of it yet, click on the link in the bio. We're going to be gathering for what I'm calling the Breath of Life. Thank you for all the love. The Breath of Life Healing Circle. And again, most people are like, what the hell does that mean? I'm hearing breath, I'm hearing life, I'm hearing healing, I'm hearing circle. What are we talking about here? And that's just it's a good descriptive name, right? But what it's referring to is for me to create a container, right? Meaning a designated time and a space online for us to meet, right? So that we can heal together. And a lot of people are like, but healing, right? We take healing for granted, right? You get a cut on your finger and it's like, you don't have to sit there and think about, man, I hope that, all right, I got to spend at least 2 hours today thinking about this cut healing or else it's not going to heal. See, that's why healing gets taken for granted. I love how all this starts to come up. Once I get going, it starts to come. That's how we know we're in flow. That's how we know that the message is divine. Because I'm not rehearsing this shit. I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the spirit. But if you think about it, it's healing is something even when you got a cold, even when you get a cold, yeah, you take some medicine, but you're not sitting there thinking about getting healthy, like getting unsick. You don't sit there and think about it. You just, throughout your life, there's certain things that you've done time and time again. When you get a cold, when you have a little sniffle, when you have a little flu, when you have hay fever, there's just a little remedy pack that you do. And yet you're not doing the healing, but time with some rest and some remedies that you use that you think are helpful for you. That's all you need. It's easy. It's easy like that. But when we talk about, I mean, even if you hurt something, right? If you hurt something, you get a bruise, you don't have to think about the bruise healing, right? Maybe you put some, I love the celebrity references. When you get like a bruise, right? You might put some ice on there. You might do something like that, but then you don't have to think about it. You just know it's there. And then in a matter of a week or two, it's gone. And you're like, oh, cool. I healed. Isn't that incredible? That's like a miracle. That's probably it's literally a miracle. How does that happen? Can someone explain to me how you heal without having to do anything? That's miracle. That's miracle stuff, which should tell you that you're a miracle, that like you're divine, like you're a miracle because you're in a body that you don't have to think about this stuff. It just heals. I'm all three of the musketeers, all in one, right? Thank you, Crystal. Think about it. You're sacred, you're divine, right? You're infinite. And you're in this body that literally all this stuff happens and is all. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yay. All the love, man. Here comes the people. Here you come. But if you like, can you stop and just really like give yourself some gratitude? Like appreciate whatever you want to appreciate, right? If you appreciate God, Jesus, Buddha, Great Spirit, the universe, like there has to be some kind of gratitude because you got issued this body and you don't even got to think about it, but your body transforms. Most of y'all don't even realize that you were born a little baby and now you're an adult. Like, how did that transformation happen? That's like you grew. You didn't have to think about growing. You didn't sit there and say, I hope I'm going to have to think about my growing today. I don't know. So you think about the two things that once you're in the body, right, and you have this miraculous body, that healing isn't something you have to think about in terms of physical, and growing isn't something you have to think about in terms of the physical, right? But then here comes me on scene, and I'm talking about what? Mental, emotional, spiritual healing and health, right? Mental health, clarity of mind, being sober, living a sober lifestyle, understanding that like anytime you put chemicals in your brain, like the brain is negatively impacted, and your brain literally is what's connected to everything else in your body. And your thoughts are your reality. And so if you're using chemicals that are distorting your mentality, that I don't know what it would take for you to stop. Most of you have probably heard my story, and it was always the rock bottom. It was always the most painful of lessons. For me to change, hardest of lessons, right? The hardest of lessons. And that's why I get on here with so much passion and fire and enthusiasm, mental clarity, because I want to share that with you guys. I want you to realize that it's not going to like a cut, your emotions aren't going to heal like a cut. I can tell you, I remember when I was in the military, um, I don't know what was up. I must have had a chip on my shoulder about something, but I got called into like the Master Chief's office. And he really liked me. I mean, most people liked me. If you're physically fit, which I was, you usually had favor in the military. And so I remember going into this office, and I was probably pretty young. I was probably 20 years old. And I was told that my attitude needed an adjustment. you know. And so they scheduled me to go to anger management class. And so and when you go to anger management class, they don't but this was, 25 years ago. Back then, like they're not talking about your emotions. They're just trying to let you know like what is, what are you carrying around that you feel so angry about, right? How can you control that? There was a little bit of talk about coping mechanisms, right? Situational awareness, understanding that, there's it's my responsibility to get my anger out in positive ways and learn how to communicate. So there was some good stuff to it. The point that I'm making though is that if I had never ever ever started journaling, right, along my 13-year healing journey, which that's where we're at right now, right? 13 years of sobriety, 13 years of saying I'm going to change who I am from the inside. From the inside, I'm going to change who I am from the inside. How is that done? How do you do that? Does anybody even have a clue? Like, how do you change yourself from the inside? And yet 13 years into the future, here I am. I changed myself from the inside. Because what I realized is that for whatever reason, the feelings that I had inside of me, I couldn't control that. I couldn't control it. Not in every situation. I could control it in workplaces where there was a paycheck attached to it. I could act with a lot of professionalism. We'll call it that. But in intimate relationships, which to me are the most important, right? The close people to you, your intimate partners, your lovers, your children, the people that see you behind the closed doors. That's what I'm talking about. What I realized is that in those intimate relationships, that's where I struggled the most to control the emotions. That's where the emotions would get triggered, right? And the whole understanding of this is what you need to realize is that if you experienced any level of trauma or abuse as a child, it doesn't matter how old you are right now, unless you've gone through a process similar to what I talk about here, which is healing emotional wounds, which is actually a spiritual practice, which is why therapy doesn't do that. Therapy's not going to do it. Talk therapy, I go to therapy once a week. I don't go to that to heal my emotions. It hasn't done that. It's helped me to be a lot more self-aware because it's a good sounding board, but it doesn't help to heal the emotions. And so if and I believe everyone here listening, right, you wouldn't be here if this didn't connect with you, meaning my story, what I carry, the energy, the experiences I carry, if they weren't relatable. And so no, man, no. So if you've had any level of abuse as a child, then here is the truth. You still have wounds that have yet to be healed inside of you. They're invisible. You don't see them on the outside. It's not a bruise. You don't feel it like when you get a cold and you're sick and you have to totally lay up, but then it goes away in 2 weeks or a week, right? Emotional wounds, they're shapeshifters. It's like a master manipulator. It lives in your body and you learn how to cope with it because it happened for most people. It happened so long ago that you forgot what life was like before the wounding. And that's an important piece for you to awaken to, right? Is to realize that when someone like me is walking around talking about healing, talking about growth, talking about breath work, talking about visualization, talking about inner child, talking about higher self, talking about journaling, all of those are tools to help you go through and unpack the wounds that you're carrying around underneath the surface that no one can see. They can only see when you act, when you express, right? When you express your pain that is otherwise hidden inside of you. Yeah, that's a good comment, D. Right? There's without healing, there's no true joy. You're right. And the sad thing is most people, their bar of happiness, right, is happiness, right? It's to feel happy. I need to have fun, man. I need to go out and have some fun. I've been working, and it's so sad because you know a lot of people that are like, man, I've been working so hard, like you, and that's the thing, right? So many people are grinding and busy, 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 busy. I started the whole talk tonight talking about what does it take for you to just chill out, to spend time every day with no distractions, quiet, peaceful, silent, reflective, present with yourself. What does that take? What does it take for you to do that? Right? What does it take for you to be more present with yourself? Most people, y'all are just wanting to be so dang distracted. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're walking around with a lot of emotional wounds and you can't sit with yourself. It's too uncomfortable. It's too uncomfortable to just be like, let me sit with myself. Let me just sit here in quietness. And it's like you want to know a picture. You want to know a picture of what most people's minds looks like. I have a great analogy. I heard this today. Alan Watts. He says the inside of most people's minds is like walking into a overly packed like concert. You ever gone to a concert like at a small venue and it's packed? I mean, it's like you're like this, man. It's like you're trying to get by and people are pushing and shoving, but it's packed and there's noise and chaos and you know what I mean? It's just an overly packed space of people, all showing up with a different vibe and a different thing. That's what the inside of most of our minds look like. It's a little chaotic in there. And it lacks peace. It lacks clarity. It lacks, you know, organization is what I would say. And that's why the mind is number one with what I talk about. The mind is the number one thing. So not religion. I mean, more like probably spirituality, I guess. I mean, I'm definitely a spiritual healer. So, but it's not religious, right? There's not rules to this, right? There's not rules to this. And that's true in just your life. Like ain't nobody gonna make you do something you don't want to do. But I at least get on here because I believe that my message is medicine for people that want to heal. But what I realize is that there's a lot of people you don't even realize you need to heal. You don't even really understand that healing is actually something that can happen for you, right? You're like, wait, can I? What do you mean? Can I heal? Because again, if you just associate physical healing, nobody has to sit there and think about their cut healing. Even if a doctor does a surgery on you to repair a broken thing or some kind of crazy thing, you're not sitting there having to think about it healing. It's just a time thing. It's following the doctor's orders, rest, right? Taking it easy and just let the time go by and it heals. Your body naturally does that. But here's the one place that it does not happen. Healing does not happen organically and naturally with your emotions. Does not. And that is the root of what I believe is most people's suffering on this planet. The reason why you feel so down, the reason why you're so overwhelmed, the reason why you're so frustrated, the reason why you feel sad, the reason why you feel angry, the reason why you feel unloved, the reason why you feel unappreciated, the reason why you feel unheard, unseen is your unhealed emotions, the trauma, because it's invisible. It's underneath the surface. So that's why you take it for granted. And the sad thing is no one, like, this is just coming online in terms of like people like myself saying, oh, wait, here's the issue. Here's what's really going on with you. The chemicals, the addictions, those aren't the problems. You're the problem. I had to look myself in the mirror. I had to look myself in the mirror like this. And here's the mirror. And I'm like, you know what, dude? You're the problem. Not all this stuff. Not the alcohol, not the this, not the that. That's not the problem. You're the problem. And guess what? That means you can also solve the problem. You have the keys to solve the problem. That's what it took. And I believe that if you're someone that connects with this message with any kind of regularity, you're tuning in, you want to hear what's going on, it's like, for sure, it's time to start acting. And I've been putting out some messages about that. Like, it's time to start acting. I'm not just here for the entertainment piece so you can just kick back and watch. Like, it's great. You're welcome. You're welcome to watch, right? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. However, from my soul to your soul, that's not enough. It's not enough. The way you solve any problem is by sitting there with a pen and a piece of paper, right? I'm talking, actually, I'm being serious when I say this, Bobby. The way that you can solve any problem that you have in your life, it starts with, right? What's up, Gavin? It starts with a pen and a paper. I call it a journal. And on the Results Kill Excuses app it's so funny. There's one of the first courses there. This shit probably shouldn't even be free no more because y'all don't take it serious. But one of the first courses that I ever did, it's the first 5. It's called I've Got 99 Problems and Positive Solutions for Everyone. Look at this worksheet. This is how this worksheet looks like. It's supposed to look like bottles of beer. And so you have your problem here and then you have a solution. This is literally what you do. I've made it look cool, right? Than just a normal piece of paper. But you literally can just get a piece of paper, you write down your problem. What is your problem? Any problem, you write it down, and then you start thinking about everything that comes up. Any solution that comes up, you don't like try and filter it. You just, every idea that you have, you put it on paper. It doesn't matter if it sounds practical, if it's reasonable, if it's so far-fetched, it does not matter. It's, writing it out is the backbone of solving anything. And, it's one of the kind of fundamentals that we learn in school with math, right? It's like they're called problems. And a lot of people got beat down with the way that education is served up. And so as adults, you kind of shut down your problem solving skills other than you're trying to figure it out on your head. But if you can connect with what I said earlier about your mind is literally like walking into a small venue at a concert where it's just packed like sardines with people. That's how your brain is. You have way too much activity in there. And that's why I advocate for journaling so much. That's why I came out with the 1% Better Everyday Journal, because this not only packs the power of writing things down, journaling, it makes it fun. It makes journaling fun because these are worksheets. So it's not like this boring, just, document. It actually has like fun. You fill in these jars. This is a gratitude jar, things that you love jar, a couple reflection boxes, some things that matter. On the next page, there's like a cloud, I am affirmations, part of your dreaming. And then there's a little bit of like the actual question and answer, some reflective stuff. But in general, it's made fun because, again, I get it. Most people are resistant. You're resistant. Why are you resistant? Because, school sucked. You got beat down in school. You didn't like writing the essays. You didn't like writing the papers, doing the math problems. I've been in education for 10 years, higher education and public education. That's what inspired me to be able to create content for adults that is a throwback to when we were kids doing worksheets. All of it. Everything I do is worksheets. Everything. Right? Here's one if you want to talk about if anybody's interested in dealing with an addiction. An addiction doesn't just have to be the two main ones, right? The chemicals. It could be television, food, corn. It could be like anything, shopping, negative thinking. If you want to break up with an addiction, right? Look at this worksheet. This is breaking up with my addictions. This is the wagon, right? So you got like this cool wagon and it says, by getting on the wagon, I'm choosing, and there's videos for this. I'm teaching you how to fill these things out on the app. Y'all missing out, man. Y'all are just sitting there saying, wait, we're programmed to just kick back. Yeah, I appreciate that. I love it when you guys share this live. Let's get the message out. People need to hear this. It's time to act. It's time to start doing. It's great when you can just kick back and listen, right? It's great when you could just kick back. But I do realize that there is a responsibility on my shoulders to help to coach, encourage, and train those of you that actually enjoy what I'm serving up in terms of these big old pills for healing and growth and expansion to become the best version of yourself, that you're programmed to just be entertained. And this is not. This is interactive. That's what this is. This is interactive content where it's like, it's time to go to work. Any problem you got, you can just get just a notebook. I started with a notebook. The reason why I think most people starting with a notebook, it's like going to the gym and starting without a trainer if you haven't really trained in a long time. What is the chances you're going to stick it out? There's no accountability. But not only if you get the membership, right? And then you hire a trainer, you're doubled in, man. You're like, I'm fucking locked in. I'm going to at least have to do this for 3 to 6 months. Are you going to get results that way? Yes. If you just go get the membership, something just finally gets you to get the membership, and you haven't worked out in years and years and years, will you stick it out? I don't know. It's probably like a 20% chance that you'll actually create a regular routine and start exercising on a regular basis for at least over a year. I mean, most people are going to go for the first week. They'll post the pictures and tell everybody, all right, time to get back to the grind. And it's like, come on, man. Now what? Now what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Now what? Where are we at now? We still back at the grind? And that's how we are as people. We're very finicky. We're very half-hearted. We like to half-ass shit. And you're not going to get anything out of this by half-assing, because again, listening to this message isn't doing the work. Being inspired by this message isn't doing the work. That's an interesting reflection. Bidgeroni. She was crying for years and she sounded similar to that breath. I'm sorry. Bobby, so great question. Is it necessary? If you're going to work with me, I say yes. I say it's mandatory. Right? Mandatory is to write this shit down. I know we want to have fill in the blank, fill in the box, PDFs, and do it all digital notes and stuff. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 46 years old. There's an old saying that says, note takers are money makers. But there's a saying that this right here is mightier than the sword. And probably when that saying came out, the sword probably was the mightiest weapon, at least at that time, right? It was the most effective weapon. And the pen is mightier than the weapon because, again, if your mind is so cluttered, right? If your mind is so cluttered, like a nightclub packed with people sardined in there, and that's how your mind is, with all your thoughts, with all your thinking, with all your dreams, with all your goals, with all your sadness, with all the things, the heartbreaks and the bills and every freaking thing, man, everything. And you got it all stuffed in here. When you start to write things down, guess what? It frees it from here. It declutters in here. It's like the pen is like the bouncer. If you were to think of your mind as an overpacked club with a bunch of rowdy people, the pen is the bouncer saying, all right, time to go. And you write it down. You write down exactly what that person's doing, what is going on. Next one. Hey, you too, come over here. You're out of here too. Because when you put on paper, now you have something to work with. What you're also doing for yourself is giving yourself a very clean and clear picture of where you are. Where do you stand? Not where you think you stand. That's the big problem. Yeah, self-accountability is probably the biggest. Obviously, discipline, self-accountability. All those will never go away. It's never going to go away. You're not going to be able to circumvent it. Right? You need to have self-accountability. That is what the 1% Better Everyday Journal does. It helps to develop your self-accountability, because for 91 days, you're going to get in here, and guess what? It's all about starting with a positive mindset, writing down some gratitude, doing a couple affirmations to yourself. But when you start doing some reflection, the meat of this journal right here is in the middle. Reflections. What did I do good yesterday? What can I do better today? Right? Those two things, that's accountability. It's looking at your life and saying, what did I do good yesterday? And it doesn't have to be like spectacular things. I mean, you could be like, you know what? I made it to work on time. If you're someone that goes to work late all the time, or, I helped out a stranger at the store, right? And even as you start this, maybe you're going to struggle. Maybe you're going to struggle filling in things because you're not used to positively giving yourself validation. See, that's a part of accountability. That's a part of the reprogramming from all the negative thinking, is when you start to try and come up with positive things that you did yesterday, what you're going to start to do in a matter of a few days, a few weeks, is you're going to be setting intentions in the next section, which is, what are the 3 things that matter to you today? What are 3 things that matter to you today? Those are your goals for the day. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, right? But those things can start to then play into the others. So it's all interconnected. But you say you want accountability. You say you're stuck. You say you lack inner peace. You say you don't know how to get started or what to do, or you're just waiting for something to happen. Guess what? Something just happened. You just got shown a proven resource, a program that you could absolutely hop on right now, right? And start to improve your level of accountability. You can start to declutter your mind, and you can start to definitely learn a lot more about yourself in terms of the 5-phase from self-sabotage to self-mastery, the course that's packed in there. I mean, there's a ton, man. This has so much content in it. It's not just filling out forms. This literally has an interactive 91-day course. But again, this is reflectionary stuff. This one here from day 61, right? Day 61, phase 4, cultivating self-awareness. The goal is to gain deeper insight into your values, emotions, and thought patterns. So on this day, you're going to answer these 3 questions. What brings me the most joy? How often do I make time for what brings me joy? What is something new you can try that could increase your joy? Right? How many of y'all take time to do this kind of work for yourself? You're not. You're not doing it. But yet, what are you doing? You're sitting there. You're listening to this. And it's like 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. Some of y'all are like, man, I ain't got an hour. It's like, go to bed earlier, get up earlier. And by working on the 1% Better Everyday Journal for 30 minutes a day, maybe an hour, if you watch a video on that day, but you could watch it on a commute. You could watch it the night before. You can build this stuff in so it does. And I talk about all that. It's all hand holding, really. But the thing is where you are like, I don't have that kind of time. It's because right now you're too comfortable with your current habits, the things that you're currently doing, your current routine. It's comfortable for you. So for you to do something new, and then it's supposed to be adding more time, it's asking for more time that you say you don't even have. It's because you don't want to, again, this is another journal exercise where you sit there and write down. I think it's on tomorrow's video where you write down, you get 7 pieces of paper for 7 days, and for a whole week, morning, afternoon, evening, you document what the fuck you're really doing. For those of you that say, I ain't got no time, it's all bullshit. You do have time. What you are saying you don't have time for is your way of saying, I don't want to do something new right now. Because you absolutely have time, but your time is allocated into the current things you're doing. And what it takes for you to break up with those current things is having what's called a pattern interrupt. That means you need to do a hard stop on something that is not adding value to your life. It is not building you up. It is not making you a better version of yourself, which is tonight's message. What's your healing worth? You can keep doing the same shit you've been doing, or you can have an honest conversation with yourself, or you could hire me to have an honest conversation with you in private, one-on-one, through a coaching program, or you could get someone else that you trust. But the fact of the matter is, if you aren't willing to make some sacrifices and to make some drastic changes. We've all heard it, right? We've all heard it at this point. I know that this statement has been used everywhere, all over the internet. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And yet, what? I was thinking today, it's kind of funny that, what was I talking about? This bracelet that I'm wearing right here, this silver bracelet. I came across this. My mom gifted this to me November 7th, my birthday, 1999. And I was like doing the math real quick. I'm like, 1999, because it's engraved on here. It says, my birthday, love, mom. So cute. I was so excited to find this. I cleared out my storage and I came across this. And I love it. It's a sweet silver bracelet, but 1999. And I was doing the math. I'm like, wait, was that really like 25 to 26 years ago? Hello, Sherry Farrell Scorpio. I'm like, that was really 25 years ago? Wait, I was 20 when she gave me that? This thing is 25 to 26 years old. This bracelet right here is a 26-year-old bracelet. I don't even feel like I'm 26 years old right now. And it's not because I'm immature. It's because I take such good care of myself. That's the fountain of youth, right? What is your health? What is your healing worth? Right? And I'm not just talking about when you're sick or when you have a cut or when you're recovering from a surgery. No, I'm not 20. I said I feel like 26. Right? Trust me, I feel like I'm 26. And I'm all natural. But I have so much power. I have so much energy. It's because I eat superfoods. My diet is tight. My mind is clear. My mind is healthy. My emotions are healed. Right? I'm emotionally mature. This guy's having a hard time hearing, huh? The bracelet is 26 years old. The bracelet is 26 years old, dude. I love it, man. People just want to argue. It's just like, let's argue, man. You said you were 26. No, I said the bracelet's 26. It was given to me 1999. Okay. And yet my point was, look how fast. I mean, honestly, time goes by so quick, you guys. We're already almost at the halfway of 25. Do y'all realize this? Do y'all realize that it's almost, we're in next week? Next week, you guys, is the start of month 5. After the start of month 5 is the start of month 6. I'm pretty sure we got 12 months. We're halfway through. What do you have to show for it? 5 months into a new year? What results? What are your wins of your life? It's not scary. What's scary is that you're still sitting on your fucking asses, not doing shit, waiting for something to happen, wishing something could happen, wanting something please happen, instead of making the shit happen, taking action. I love getting fired up. I love it when I get fired up. That's that military mindset in me. It's like, man, y'all are sitting there waiting, wishing, wanting. When you have the power of the universe to change your entire life, you could change it all. If I did it, you could do it. Seeking approval, man. Here, you need approval? Here, bro, I'm going to give you approval right now. Right? You're approved, man. There you go. There's your approval. What more do you need? You just got approved, dude. Like, go. Let's get it. If you need approval, you came to the right person. I'm here to get, anybody else need some approval? I'm going to approve you right now. I'm going to approve all of you guys to get yourself a 1% better everyday journal, to sign up for the Breath of Life Healing Circle and start taking action, start making some investments, start taking some actions and see what happens next. See what happens next. Because when you don't take action, this year's over and you're like, all you keep doing is beating yourself down more and more and more and more and more. And the difference is what you're saying. When time is flying, when you're not doing shit, when you got nothing to show. Yeah, work hard, man. You're working hard. If you're someone that works hard, you have nothing to show for it. I guarantee it. Most of y'all don't have nothing to show for your hard work. That's just facts. It's hard. It's a hard truth. And so what I am trying to encourage you to do is get with the flow. So time flows and you want time to flow through you, meaning you're the master of your time. Because to me, it doesn't matter if it's been the 4th month, the 5th month. I put in the work every single day. I got fucking wins I got the receipts. I got receipts for all the wins. I'm not lacking very many wins. I'm working all the time, putting in effort to advance my life because I want to be the master of my time, not enslaved to it. Yeah, smarter. I mean, smarter, not harder. That's kind of just a saying. If you can tell me what that means to you in terms of what actions will you take from this point forward, then then I believe that you understand what that means. But at the end of the day, it's just another saying to say that you need to do something in order to start getting things done. It's action, right? We need action. Without the action, nothing happens. You're just sitting there. You're just sitting there. You're just thinking about it. I mean, some of you have probably been on here maybe 30 minutes or more. And if you have time for this, I appreciate it. It means the world to me because I know that I'm not just here for entertainment purposes, right? I'm here for interactive purposes, to coach, to encourage, to inspire people to do what? Action. It's the action. And clearly, I'm not just here with the talk, right? You could go onto the Results Kill Excuses website or on the app, type in those 3 magic words. There's 5 courses right now that are still free. They're probably not going to be free for long though, but they're free now. There's 5 courses. That's over a month's worth of work. When I say a month, it's not a month's nonstop, but it's like an hour a day for 5 weeks. And there's video content in there for you to be watching, getting dialed in, learning, like applying yourself. Beyond that, you got the 1% Better Everyday Journal. It's in the shop. It's in the description. 1% Better Everyday Journal. This is not a pretend thing. This is a real thing that I developed from my experiences, directly from my experiences, saying, if I was to help myself before I started on this journey, what could I create using my talents, which I have many? What could I create? Having a teaching background, having the healing experience that I've gone through, the spiritual experiences I've gone through. I have an award-winning graphic design background. What can I build? Right? I've worked in the publishing industry. What can I create that can help the previous version of me to accelerate? That's the thing. I didn't say to make it quick. There's no quick fix, but this will accelerate. This will condense the timeline. It took me 13 years. I guarantee you in 13 weeks, 3 months. So we're talking the end of July, which is going to be here soon, you guys. It's going to be here really fucking soon if you just keep sitting there. Thank you, Mary Jo. Thank you so much. That's very kind. But it's to condense the time. That's the whole purpose why I'm here, is to help add value to your life by creating more opportunities for you to condense time, which all of this is focused on your actual most important healing, the healing of your mind, the healing of your emotions, the healing of your soul, to heal those things, which then ultimately translate into your body being healed. Because a lot of you have illnesses and diseases that are directly related to the mind and to your emotions. Where do you think most cancers come from? How many people do you think die from stress? Do you even know this? How many people die every year? How many people are unalived every year from stress? Stress, because you can't handle your emotions. 120,000 people will die every year from stress. I mean, I don't know. I mean, survival of the fittest. I mean, that's we're not at that place yet right now. It's not anarchy, right? It's not really survival of the fittest right now. To me, the most important thing is, what is your healing? What is your I have to clarify that. What is your emotional healing worth? What is it for you to heal yourself from all your emotional past traumas? What is that worth for you guys? Is it worth What would you do? What would you do if you could actually be cleared of any mental constraints you have, any emotional constraints you have? Like, what would you do to be cleared of that? How much time would you invest every day if you knew that for sure it would clear it? Most of it, if I said, well, you want a magic pill, right? Is that what you need? Are you waiting for that to happen? Do you just want the grave to be the answer to that healing so you can come back and do it all over again? Same lessons, no learning, because you basically you swerved on the learning, the lessons, all of the challenges that you've been through, it's all a lesson. And so many of you are just like checked out. You're dropouts. You've dropped out of the game of life. You'd much rather play the little games, right? The little games pretending. You're just sitting there pretending to be something or do something. Like, I don't do that. I don't have time to pretend to do stuff. I like doing real life shit. Like to actually do real life. Real life is way funner than any pretending to do stuff. Right? And it's no different between if you're pretending with your thumbs or you're pretending with your eyes watching your team. It's still pretending versus you actually being the main character of your story, having that main character energy. And yet most people out there are struggling because why? Yeah, sorry to hear about your mom. 40% of your time, what did you do with the other 60? Right? I mean, that's a sacrifice. You made a sacrifice on behalf of a loved one. We've all been there. We've all been there. So you posting that, I have empathy for you. I have compassion for you. I want to receive you in love because I understand that took a lot of sacrifice on your part. But are you giving me a reason, or should I say an excuse as to why you're feeling like, well, wait, but look, I did this sacrificial, benevolent thing for my loved one. That's amazing. It's incredible for you to do that. You have such a big heart. But what do you have to show from that? What did you learn from the experience of giving up that much of your time? What did you learn from that experience? I mean, beyond the loss lesson, what did you learn? Because that is a lot of time. And yet it wasn't all of your time. There's still more time. There's still more time. And we make excuses. There's incredible stories if you ever use the internet for actual learning, which this is a part of that. But I love to research stuff. And I mean, if you're someone that's feeling like, oh man, like I'm down and out and, I'm stuck in a dead end job and this and that, there's incredible stories of people that went from being the janitor at a hospital to a registered nurse in a hospital. Well, how did that happen? How'd they do it? And they never stopped working as the janitor until they became the nurse. How did that happen? Graveyard shift, all night nurse, janitor And then they pulled off a nursing degree while being a janitor, and they literally got hired as a nurse in the same hospital. Were they just a superhuman as a janitor? What is your excuse? You got too many of them. That's the problem. Stuck in your head. You're stuck in life. And it all boils down to what? Yeah, it is worth it to heal. So what are you doing to heal? What are you doing to heal? How much of your time do you invest in your emotional healing? Because when I caught fire with the emotional healing and I started feeling the results, I started being able to trust myself, and I started realizing, oh, wow, how all this is like this intertwined web of life experiences. It was like, oh man, this all makes sense now. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. And I know that I am 100% in control and have the power to heal, right? To heal. The way you get out of your head is by taking action, right? You take action. You want to take a drastic action right now? Buy yourself a 1%. If you haven't already, buy yourself a 1% journal. Take action, dude. Like you'll thank me later, because you're like, I put myself on the hook. Now what do I do? I don't want to wait. I don't want to waste that money, right? Now I got to do it. I got to put myself out there. You want to take another action? Sign up and register for the Breath of Life Healing Circle. Then you're going to be on the hook for two things that you've invested in for your health, for your healing. And, it's like, now what? Now what? You don't have to overthink it anymore, because the stuff shows up and you don't think. You just create the time, you show up and you do the work. And then when you're in the flow of doing something, you're not thinking anymore. That's the beautiful thing about why breath is so powerful for a healing, is because it gets you out of your head and it gets you in your body. Out of your head, into your body. I mean, there's a testimony right there, right? And that's why it's like, I'm not holding back. The journal is there. Purchase a journal. But some of you are like, wait, you're selling me right now. Fuck yeah, I am. I'm selling you your healing. I'm selling you your freedom. I'm selling you your inner peace. I'm selling you what's going to get you unstuck. Yes, I'm doing that. Because this stuff is what I have developed as a result of me getting unstuck. I've went back in. I said, how can I help other people get unstuck? How can I create something that's never been created to help other people? That is what's going on here right now. Yes, you're being sold. You're being sold your freedom. You're being sold inner peace. You're being sold emotional healing. You're being sold how to reprogram your negative thinking. Dang, dude, you already burned out the pen? This guy? I have a package probably going to you soon, so I'm gonna have to send you another pen. But people act so offended, right? To be sold stuff. It's like, wait, why are you trying to sell me stuff, man? I thought you're just here to talk. And it's like, dude, I'm not here to just talk. I want to help you. So I have stuff to help you. Would you rather me tell you, hey, go get this other person's stuff that I'm not that person? It's like, I'm trying to sell you stuff that I have created to help people like me, which is most likely you. So yes, if you want to get out of your head, that's what I would do. If any of you are way overthinkers and I see 111 up here, right? Purchase a 1% better everyday journal. Just do it. If you don't want to do that, then I got another option for you. Oh wait, you're not going to want to do that either? Fuck. Well, then where are we at? 2 more months, another year, 5 more years, and where? You're in a worse condition because you did nothing, right? If you want something that's going to be an incredible opportunity to heal, and to heal with me and to heal with a lot of other beautiful people, sign up, resultskillexcuses.com. Go to the Breath of Life online group link and sign up there. $80 for 3 sessions. It's nothing, man. $80. You're going to feel like, fuck, I wish I would have paid. You're going to probably be like, wait, this is way too good of a deal after the first session. But you have to show up. You have to show up. You have to sign up. First, you have to sign up. Then you got to show up. And then all you got to do is just surrender. You don't have to think no more, right? Because the minute you show up, the minute you show up, you don't have to overthink, right? Because I'm going to hold a container for you. I'm going to walk you through every single step of everything you need to do. So all you have to do is just do it and just see what happens. That's it. It's literally, it's easy, but for some of you, I know it's not simple because you're so apprehensive. You're so skeptical. You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I know this guy enough. But it's like, dude, there's people in here saying this is incredible. And the journal's incredible. And you're still like, I don't know. Maybe I should think about it some more. And it's like, great, you could think about it as long as you want. But if you can just find this much courage, tiny little bit of courage, right? Just get it. Order it. If you do it, if you order this, you do all the 91 days and you say, that was like, I didn't get anything out of that. I want my money back. Dude, I'm going to be a money back guaranteed no matter what type of company. Because I only want people to get stuff that actually improves your life. That literally improves your life. I'm not selling salvation. I'm not saving you. There's a bunch of churches, they're called churches, that sell salvation. I'm not trying to save you, right? I am trying to help you to heal yourself. Church won't heal you, man. The spiritual doesn't heal the emotional. I talk about this all the time. When I was doing Christian, right? I was so all in, man. I was even preaching the word. I was reading the word, preaching the word, singing the word, all of that, man. All of it. Right? So I'm not selling salvation. That's not what we're doing here. I'm not trying to save you. Right? But here's the thing is I was spiritually healthy. I talk about there's 4 healths: mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health. If you go all in on religion, by showing up to church, do you get in excellent shape? Does your body get into excellent shape eating donuts? Right? It doesn't, right? Okay, so you're super spiritually healthy, but you're physically a mess. So the same is true as if you're all religious and you have perfect church attendance and you pay all your dues, your body doesn't get into shape, your emotions don't get healed, and your mind doesn't get cleared. But your spiritual body is healthy. Right? You're going to have a healthier spiritual body. And that is why the biggest flex right now, what I am talking about is the complete total package of who you can be: mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. It's truly being the complete and total person that you can be. This is what gives you your freedom. So the insult or whatever that was, just a little, man, selling salvation here. It's like, no, dude, like you can go, there's millions of people on this planet that actually are selling salvation. What I am selling are some shit that I came up with myself that is actually proven to help people to sort through their life's problems, to reprogram their negative thinking, right? And to quit making excuses about life, to take extreme ownership. That's what this is, which ultimately helps you to improve all 4 of the healths that matter: mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. Because if you fix your mind, I got sober. I got sober and it didn't heal my emotional wounds. I got sober and it didn't make me physically fit. I got sober and it didn't make me spiritually saved. So again, you have to realize that all four of those, and that's where most people get it wrong. Because if you go watch over here, you got somebody say, man, get in the gym, work out hard, work out every day, work out, boom, 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 eat, work, 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 work. That's just physical. And I know a lot of people that are so physic, man, like, and I have it all. That's the thing. That's why I'm a step ahead. I got it all. I know a lot of people that are physical specimens, but they're emotionally bankrupt and they're still hooked on all kinds of stuff chemical wise. And there's no spirituality there. But I also know people that are, so then you also got people that are selling you on making money, right? Money is the problem. Money is the solution. Get out there, start your business, grind, hustle, hustle, grind, hustle, hustle, grind. And then you go and start a business, right? Not even based on something that is aligned with your natural divine gift. You do something because someone told you it's going to make you lots of money. And the next thing you know, you got a business, you got no freedom, you got employees that are calling in sick. You're now in charge. You have to work the 24 hours a day type of routine. And your mental health is gone. You're even more stressed than you were before in life, but you got money. Right? And your physical health is shit because you don't even have time to work out. Okay, so the ones that tell you it's all about your body, the ones that tell you it's all about the bag, and then there's the other ones that tell you it's all about the relationship, right? Get your dream partner, right? As soon as you get your dream partner, then you're good. But then what happens when they break up with you and they break your heart? They cheat on you because you're too busy with a job, right? Or you haven't healed the emotions. And I make light of this stuff, but this is what separates me from most 99% of the other people out there, right? I'm not alone, but no one is me because I know the process that I have gone through. And it started with the mental health, right? The mental health has to be number one. And if you're someone that's stuck in your head, if you're an overthinker, I talk about it. It's in here too. The beautiful thing, 1% Better Everyday Journal, mindfulness practice, positive affirmations, breathwork, journaling, meditation and prayer, grounding, sun gazing. There is a list of things to help you be more clear-minded, more mindful about life, not all worry mind. Monkey mind is what they call it. Monkey mind. Worry, 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 worry. Yeah, I don't, it's all good, man. I'm just fired up. I'm just getting fired up. So I don't hold no offense to that. I can handle the worst type of insults that are out there, man. And even if it wasn't meant as one, it was just like, I mean, I'm not like, I definitely am not trying to come across as I'm not here to save anybody except for myself. And that's what everyone here needs to realize. Ain't nobody gonna come and save you. So if you're just overthinking your strategy for your own salvation, nothing's ever gonna get done. All I'm trying to do is I'm over here doing this. Trying to light a fire under your ass. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You. Who's next? Who's next? Who else needs a fire under their ass? You? Do you need a fire under your ass? Here you go. Here's your fire. Fuck. Let's go. Action. And the only things for me to just tell you, go off into the woods and you'll figure it out for yourself by osmosis. Why the fuck? What fucking sense does that make? I come here with actual programs, resources for you to say, look, man, this is it. This is it. This did not exist when I had to go into the woods and figure out my shit. And now that I've come out, I'm like, I get all these downloads, right? This shit ain't even just coming from like whatever. most of this stuff I'm doing at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't even sleep. And I just start getting downloads and visions saying, man, make this, do that. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's like, yeah, this is exactly what I would want. This is exactly when I started journaling. I would want it to be like this because it's easy. It's easy to follow. It's not staring at a blank piece of paper, asking yourself, what should I even be writing about today? I don't really know. And it's like this right here. You just follow it. And there's videos on the app that guide you through it. It's super supportive. It's supportive. It's very clear. It's easy to follow. It's fun. It's interactive. You know, and it's like, that's it. This is exactly what I am selling is the process that I went through condensed into weeks, not years, for you to start really getting some traction in life, to start getting to points of breakthrough and traction, right? Along your own healing journey. That's what I got here. The Breath of Life Healing Circle kind of brings together three of the most important tools of my daily practices MC111. It does have journaling, reflection work, very important. It has the visualization, very important, because if you lack vision, right? Most of y'all have never done a vision board. Most of y'all have never really like put a plan out there to say like, this is what I see for my life. And yet, so that's why you're stuck. So when you lack vision, there's no direction. One day you go this way, the next day you're over there, there's no direction. What are you working towards? And finally, it's the breath. And the breath gets you out of your head, gets you in your body, starts to move a lot of energy. And that energy can be used for you to start to release the blockages that are also contributing to your stuckness. Yeah, well, of course, it's a oversimplification. It's actually just my sarcasm. Is because there's dudes out there. That's what they're telling you. Get your business. Start your business. So it's not me saying to do that. It's literally there are content providers that all day long, that's all they say is how easy it is to get a business. Man, get your business. Start a business right now. Fucking hustle and grind. If you don't have a business, you're not doing it right. And they make it sound like it's easy. I fucking know for sure, man. I know for sure what business is about. I've been doing business since I was a little kid, right? I've been doing lots of businesses. My first business when I was a kid, well, I don't know if it was my first business, but back in the days, the fanny packs have come back in fashion. And so I used to have a fanny pack. And when I was in junior high, 7th grade, there was a candy store and they used to sell these Jolly Rancher sticks and blow pops. And they were like 10 cents each. So I would buy the candies, Jolly Rancher sticks and blow pops, 10 cents each. And I would sell them at school for 25 cents. So I would sit there all day with a big ass fanny pack and I'd make probably like 20, 30 bucks a day as a 7th grader. I was happy. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. 20, 30 bucks. All the kids coming up to me, man, fucking 25 cents. So I've been doing business for a long time. I understand the hustle, right? It's not easy. But again, it's also starting a bit, the point, you need to realize the point that I'm making here. So you're getting caught up in the semantics of it. The point that I was making isn't about starting a business or the simplicity of a business. The point that I'm making is that a business is not going to solve your emotional problems. It's not going to heal you. It's not going to fix your fucking life because the broken version of you starting a business to have external validation and have more resources doesn't solve it. It's going to make your life a little better, but you're going to still be self-sabotaging when the stressors hit. So that was the point. Just like if you get the body, if you go and put in the work and get the body, which takes a ton of dedication and sacrifice, right? That's not going to heal the emotions. So the body won't heal the emotions, the business won't heal the emotions, the relationship isn't going to fix your problems. None of those things fix your problems. Self-rescue, healing, total health, meaning you deal with your mental health, sobriety, you work on your emotions, which is going in the past, getting to the root of your emotional traumas, because those don't heal naturally like cuts and illnesses. Illnesses and cuts heal naturally, right? Emotional wounds, unless they are directly dealt with intention and focus, it's still there. And it'll be with you for the rest of your life. And it will handicap you. And it will, every time that you start getting some momentum in life, guess what? You'll get triggered, and it'll probably cause you to have a collapse. Yeah, the analysis paralysis is a huge thing for a lot of people, right? A lot of people are just, we're actually leaving. The beautiful thing is that we're leaving the age of information, though. We have way too much information. Y'all got too much information. And at the end of the day, the truth is, you know what you need to do. You just need to ask yourself why you're afraid to do it. And again, it goes back to the emotional wounds. You have lack of self-confidence, lack of worth, right? And all kinds of other shit going on in your head it's never gonna let you go. Thank you, Fairy. Right? It's never gonna just resolve itself. Right? So that's why I put myself out here, is for you to be able to use some of what I got, which is confidence, which is clarity, which is absolutely programs and systems that can take you from where you're at to where you should be. And that is at the best version of yourself. That is with having self mastery, no longer being a victim to your own mind, and certainly not being a victim to the things that happened in your childhood, letting all that go. Release. Forgiveness is about release. That's the spiritual piece. When you learn how to forgive, it's not about having a conversation with somebody and them apologizing to you. No, forgiveness is about releasing people. So you're no longer holding on to that pain. Yeah. Mm. Feisty, man. Monday. Wait, it's a Monday. That's why it's so feisty. You guys are having so much fun. Thank you so much. Toxic fucking Heather. Some of you guys have some funny names. Thank you so much. It is spicy. Nice. All right. So we talked about the 1% Better Everyday Journal. How many did you guys already order it? Did you get on there? Did you already order it? I'm ready to ship it. I'm shipping it tomorrow if you ordered it. It's coming out tomorrow. It's going to be coming in hot. And that means 91 days. So that's going to get you almost through summer. Can you imagine that? How will you be feeling in 3 months of putting in work every single day, working on you, investing in you, as opposed to being distracted? Man, that's probably painful, huh? To let go of some of the distractions in life, right? We want to be distracted. It's such a self-sabotage, is the distractions, right? Especially, I mean, it's not even a sex thing. I mean, men and women alike, we're looking for anything to get our mind off of ourselves. And then here comes me. I say, no, time out, man. Where's the light? No, let me shine the light on you guys. I'm going to shine the light. Let me see. Hold on. It's time to look inside. And that's why today's thing was, what's your healing worth? Is it worth your time? Is it worth investing? right? What is it worth? Right? What is it worth? What is emotional healing worth? What would you be willing to do to like feel good about yourself, to have self-confidence, self-esteem, to literally write down the best version of yourself and all the traits and all the characteristics and how they show up in life? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to need to go through my journals, but I'll probably break out that page in the next episode of Results Kill Excuses, talking shit and more. Yeah, I had to create boundaries around my family, right? That's another thing. Are you willing to lose people to heal emotionally? Are you willing to let go of people? Are you willing to let go of a job? Are you willing to move towns? Are you willing to sacrifice being a sports fanatic? I mean, I gave up being a sports fanatic to heal emotionally. I don't watch any sports. I'm still competitive. I like to check out the scores and see who won or whatever. But it's 2 minutes, boom, boom, boom. Okay, there's the scores for the day. Cool. I don't. That's it. I might watch one highlight or something. Something will pop up. Maybe I see a highlight, see an athletic play. That's cool. I don't want to watch 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 hours of athletic plays. Right? I would much rather be investing 10, 20, 30, 40 hours in me doing athletic moves, right? Building my body. That's what's more important. So it was an easy exchange was to say, okay, I love these teams, but I don't love them more than I need to be loving me. So loving me mattered more. And I said, I'm gonna get back in the gym. I'm gonna get outdoors. I'm gonna hike. I'm gonna do the active, adventurous things that I love to do versus sitting there and watching other people have their best life and getting paid tons to do that. Thank you, Stony. Right. So what is emotional healing worth to you? If it's only worth like watching something here and there, but never really making any drastic changes, then you'll get nothing from it. It'll never happen. But for me, when I hit rock bottom, and that's what it'll take a lot of people listening here, it's going to take you having a total crisis. And, I don't say that to like be prophetic about, future events in your life. But for you, I'm going to just caution you. This is a major caution. And this is coming from my heart. I say this with love, lots of love, pure love. Is if you're hearing this message and you've been tuning into my message, I'm going to warn you right now. If you're not taking action towards improving your life and you have this level of information at your disposal, there's a good chance that something's going to pop off in your life that's going to get you going. If it's not me playing games to say, here, man, let me light that fire under your ass. Like, here, you need the fire under yours. You need one under yours over there. How about here? This one over here. Here. Right. If that's not going to get you going, if me doesn't get you going and you can't self-start, guess what? I don't care if you want to call it God, universe, great spirit, source, higher self. There are powers that be that are going to get you going. And sometimes they got to pull the rug out from under you. Sometimes you got to get yourself in such a bad situation that it activates you. Because you being activated even through an incredible life upheaval is a part of how this life works many times. For most people, it's what activates most people. It's what got me going. And unfortunately, my first DWI didn't get me going. I didn't even take that one serious. My second one got me so angry. I did get sober, but I was angry. I talked about it the other day. And the domestic violence, right? Hitting that fucking and being so broken. I'm like, that's what got me going. Right. And I still carry around some residual guilt and shame because it still pops up, right? It's on a record, even though I pled not guilty. It got dismissed. I ran for a political office and it got like smeared everywhere and just public humiliation and just it became a big issue for me. And so I learned my lesson. I said, fuck, I'm done. Right. And so from that, I didn't hit nobody. But sometimes it doesn't take that. It just takes altercation. But at the end of the day, I'm just letting you know, because here's what I absolutely believe this with all my heart. If you're hearing this message, if you tune into my message, one, thank you so much. There's been so many new subscribers coming in. I appreciate that. I know that the channel is going to continue to grow. The message is going to continue to grow because this is the medicine people are truly looking for. But here's the other thing I believe, that if you're attached to this message, if you're being attracted into this, you're chosen. Like you're somebody that has a greater purpose on this planet for the future of this planet. And the future of this planet isn't how it's been in the past. We're evolving. Humanity is evolving. We are going from the information age into the intuition age. We are becoming more of the spiritual centeredness that we should be, not the hustle and grind. It's the surrender and align. This is the difference. The old earth that's fading away, and you see it everywhere you look. It's just chaos and turmoil and corruption, and everywhere you look, anywhere in the world right now, that old earth, man, this old system, right, is fading away. And that's like that hustle and grind, right? Where you're being told, hustle and grind, hustle and grind. And I don't know anybody that works their ass off, that's a hard worker, that has ever gotten ahead. So the powers that be that implant that hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind, and yet it never gets you anywhere ahead. To me, there's some deception there. So what is truly happening is that there is a spiritual influence that's has control over a lot of what's going on this planet, and we're evolving right now. Right? And if this sounds too woo-woo for you, this is what I intuitively feel is what's happening. And that's why I believe this message is so timely and meant to be expressed into the world. Is we are moving into a place where you need to surrender and align. You need to stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to overthink everything. You need to let go, man. Like, just stop. Stop. Slow down. Surrender. And that's so scary for us because our the ego, man, is like anything that's going to help to benefit you. The ego is like the biggest worry war ever. No, don't do that. You can't do that. You can't change. You can't get better. You don't have time for that. That's crazy. Whatever he's talking about doesn't make any sense right now. It's like, okay, man. Okay, yes, it doesn't. Healing doesn't make any sense, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't heal your emotional wounds. Don't go from, let's see if I have this. Let me see if I could pull up an old pic. Let's see. Let's see what comes up. 2017. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I was going to try and pull up a picture so you guys can see transformation in real time. This guy, I was living outdoors a lot. The transformation, because that's a beautiful thing. But I had to kill the ego. My ego didn't want me to get better. My ego didn't want me to heal. Doesn't want you to either. You have an ego. Your ego wants you to stay stuck. It wants you to stay the way you are because you're not, and there's all kinds of reasons why. There's usually a lot of guilt that comes up. There's usually a lot of shame that comes up. There's usually a lot of fear that comes up. Any of that connecting with you guys? Guilt, shame, fear. Those three things usually come up the most in terms of you not doing anything. And it's like, what? Dude, what are you waiting for? I just said, man, this silver bracelet, for those of you that are here, the silver bracelet my mom gave me, I just cleared out my storage. That was a part of my March. My March transformation as I was doing this frog medicine, and it's a purging that you do. And I was like, I need to clear out my storage. I had a storage full of stuff. And I said, you know what? In this month, before the end of March, I'm gonna have this storage cleared out. And I got it done. And in that, I found this bracelet. And it's cool. My mom had engraved it on my birthday, November 7th, 1999. It says, Love, Mom. And I was like thinking today, I was like, wait, this is 26 years old almost? That can't be. That's way too long. Yeah, it's so cool. I love it. It's like an awesome bracelet. And it's cool that it still fits me. Because I can tell you where I was 10 years ago, I was like 60 pounds heavier, like super out of shape. And it probably wouldn't have fit me. But because I'm my optimal self, I'm like, wait, 26 years ago, I was 20 years old back then. And the point of what I'm saying is that time goes by so fast. It goes by so fast. And it's like, for those of you that are waiting for something, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Can you literally write down on a paper tonight? What are you waiting for to take action? What are you waiting for to start becoming, to start healing, to start working on your emotional stuff, to start loving yourself in the way that you want others to love you, right? If you're someone that's been betrayed and let down and abandoned and mistreated in relationships, it's like, it's up to you to love yourself the way that no one has ever loved you. And as you do that, guess what? You're going to then attract people that are going to be able to finally show up for you. But see, the thing is that just because in your mind, you're like, you act loving towards others, it's externalized. It's not until you turn that and start loving yourself. If the only way that you show love is by what you do for others, you're missing the main point. The main point is you need to show yourself the love first. You don't show it to someone else first. You show it to you. And by showing it to you, this is the recipe. Because if you genuinely love yourself, that means you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to treat yourself like you're someone that you love really more than anyone else on this planet. But a lot of people, you don't. You don't love yourself more than anyone else. There's a lot of you actually hate yourselves. You're carrying around all this guilt, and it's time to let that go. And that is what I'm here to help people do. And if any of that makes sense to you, or if any of that is something that you're interested in, I would love to be able to help you. You should join the Results Kill Excuses Breath of Life Healing Circle online. This is an online group. We're going to meet 3 times a month starting May 4th. If you want more information on how to sign up, go to resultskillexcuses.com and click on the Breath of Life link. Scroll down there and register. All you got to do is sign up, show up May 4th, and surrender. It's that surrender part. Just surrender in a line. Just start surrendering. And by surrendering, what I promise you is that by signing up, right, you're going to be in a safe place. It's not going to be like a lot of the shit that's going on here is really silly because they're just random people popping in and popping out. Because this is public. The Breath of Life group is going to be a closed container for people that are truly there to heal, to get to know themselves, to be connected with themselves on a deeper level. Right? So you're not going to have to worry about my focus being all kinds of other places. It's going to be completely focused on holding that containment, a safe place for you to open up and to just connect with a deeper part of yourself. And in doing that, you're going to be able to be given the opportunity to release some things that you no longer believe serve you. And in doing that, that's the healing. So I invite all of you listening to sign up. Breath of Life Healing Circle. You don't need to know what to do when you show up. If you go to the website, there's a video here that's good. There's a lot of information in there. There's another video on stuff that you could need, right? There's the calendar for the next 4 months of when we're meeting. So you'll have all that information. It's all right there. I mean, this is going to be probably the best thing that I've come up with in terms of truly helping people help themselves to heal emotional wounds. Yeah, that's good. I mean, as long as you're working on fixing them, right? Again, there's probably, right, if we were to switch seats, you were to be where I'm at and I was to be where you're at. And I'm sitting there listening to a guy just talking. And he's talking about healing. He's talking about stuff that is not super popular. It's a little uncomfortable because, it's the sensitive inner part of us where, it just is. It's a sensitive side of us. The thing about it is, if I'm sitting there, and even I do this till this day, if I'm listening to somebody and what they're saying, it feels like it's in alignment with me. It feels like they're talking to me or they know what I'm going through without me. We're not having obviously a back and forth conversation. This person is just speaking into my life about things that I am going through. They're going to have 10 times more of my attention. And that also means that if there's things that I can do to really like take action on because of what they're saying, it's like, I'm all in. That's just my behavior. I'm like, wait, this is for me. Do you realize that? That when you're connecting at a deeper level with a message like this or any other message, it's not an accident. And so when you hear about stuff like Breath of Life, 1% Better Every Day Journal, it's like, if you were ever going to roll the dice and say, I want to try something, just see what happens. What do you have to lose? It's not going to cause you harm. I know that. I know that these things won't cause you harm. So if they don't cause you harm, right, what you put in is what you get out. So if you half-ass it, you get the half-ass results, but at least you'll have something. They're half-ass results versus full throttle, all in results, overflowing type results. But yet that should be a signal for you. If I was there, if I was listening and I heard this guy talking about this stuff and I'm like, yeah, this stuff, I don't know. Yeah, I have to check it out. And then you see it and be like, yeah, this is probably this. Actually, I would like this. Let me try it out. I would be doing this if the tables were turned. I wouldn't just be sitting there wanting to listen to more and more and more and more. I'd be like, you know what? The listening is good. But when there's something being offered that can actually put you to work on yourself, that to me is like, sweet, man. This guy actually has some shit figured out. Great. I'm going to definitely try it out. And many people have, right? Many people have, many people continue to. I just know that I need to stay relentless in trying to inspire you listening right now to be the next person to take that step, to make that investment in yourself, which does support me. It does support this channel. That's a reciprocity. That's an exchange. That's what life should be about. It should be equal exchange. Have you ever been in a relationship where there's no reciprocity, where if you're doing all the work and then it's like, and the person just like is taking it for you for granted? That's kind of a shitty relationship, right? And so it's when there's a healthy exchange and you can let down your guard enough to be like, yeah, I mean, just the fact that he's speaking my language without knowing me, he's talking about things that I'm dealing with without knowing me. That's not accident. That's divine. That's like literally my soul and your soul have agreed to come together in this moment. What are you going to do with it? Think about it, ponder about it, or take action to go even deeper. Right? That's the real thing, is to go deeper. Take that step. Yay. Thank you, Mississippi. All right. I'm ready to bring it down for a landing. I'm ready to bring it in for a landing. Ready to bring it in for a landing. I think tonight, I think we'll probably do a visualization. There'll be a little bit of breath work in that. Not the pranayama, but I think visualization will be good. Are you guys cool with that? Everybody's cool with that? Does anybody want to do visualization? If you do, type in a number 1 in the chat if you would like to participate in a visualization, which will connect you with some messages from probably inner child, maybe a special guest, maybe higher self. You never know. You never know who wants to show up. So if you'd like to join in a visualization exercise, type in a number 1 in the chat. Don't be shy. All you got to do is be able to hear my voice. We'll do a little bit of breath work. That's awesome. Thank you, Michael. You're in, man. So we'll do a little bit of breath work just to kind of get out of our heads, right? Get into our bodies. And then we'll visualize. And I hope that you enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy visualizing. Visualizing. I actually have a cool, this is kind of a different visualization. For those of you that want to do the visualization, are you guys in a space where you can stand up and like move your arms around, like just a little bit? Like, can you move your arms around? Like, could you do like moving your arms around? You don't have to do it, Jamie. Cool. So I saw this exercise done yesterday, which it is a visualization. We'll probably do something else too, but I just want you to, this is an exercise to demonstrate the power of the mind. Who wants to see how powerful your mind is? So I see 144. That must mean there's a lot of chosen people here. You're chosen. So here's what you do. I want you to just stand up with your feet together. And I want you to point. You need to be able to turn like all the way around. So you need it, like, I don't have a ton of room where I'm at right now, but you need to be able to turn from the front back with your arm. And so you take your right arm and you're going to like point, like if you're standing up, I want you to point straight. Point straight in front of you. Keep your legs, your feet side by side. I don't want you to move your legs at all. Okay? So you're standing up and you're point your hand straight in front of you. You can either point it like with the fingers. And then here's what I want you to do. Do not move your feet. So leave your feet stationary, but I want you to see how far going to your right. Right? So you're going to go to your right. I want you to see how far you can move your arm behind you without moving your legs. See how far you can go around without moving your legs. Oh, that's all you got to do. So you're going to have your right hand up and you're going to go around to your back without moving your feet and see how far you can point your arm. Did anybody go all the way around? Most likely not, right? So here's what I want you to do next. So just remember how far you went behind you. Okay? So next, what I want you to do is to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that your arm is in front of you. So you're not gonna move your body. You're gonna just visualize moving your body. So the first time you actually moved your body, your right arm, you went around as far as you could. Now you're still standing. Close your eyes and imagine you lifting up your arm. And I want you to imagine taking your arm halfway around in your mind. So again, you're just visualizing. Arms up, and I want you to imagine you rotating your arm directly behind you. So halfway through the circle. And then now bring your arm back. Again, this is visualization. So I want you to now take your arm up, and I want you to imagine yourself going 3/4 of the way around. And I want you to bring your arm back. And this final time, I want you to be like an owl. You ever seen an owl? An owl, like their whole head can turn around. So now I want you to visualize with your mind that you can take your arm with your feet staying planted. This is just visualization. I want you to imagine your arm going all the way around without any limitation, that it comes all the way around to the front, and then you go all the way back. Okay? So now that you have done it one time for real and 3 times through visualization, I want you to now again put your actual arm in front of you, and I want you to go as far back as you can. I want you to go as far around as you can this time. How many of you went further the second time than you did the first time? Yeah, my guess is everyone that participated in that went further around the second time. Why is that? Did you have the potential to go that far the first time? The answer should be yes, right? I mean, you're the same body. But the thing is you practice going farther 3 times mentally, which expanded the potential. You saw a greater potential being present than the first time. The first time you did it and you're like, oh, okay, that's as far as I could go. But then you imagined going farther. And then so when you did it the 4th time, the second time for real, you went further. So it tells you how powerful the mind is. That's why the mind is so important. It's so powerful. that what you're thinking is your reality. Your thoughts are your reality. So when you imagine your arm going all the way around, most of you didn't go all the way around, but you definitely, they say on average, people go 25% more, which is a lot. That's a big increase. And 100 degrees or more is a ton, man. And so, again, that's just one example of the power of visualization. Don't underestimate what's going on in these visualizations. The messages you're getting, the environments that you're in. And I think even today we'll do a different one where I want you to, and we've done this one in the past, but I want you to, when we get in there, it'll most likely be, I'll guide you through it. But so those of you that want to visualize now beyond just that experiment to see how powerful visualization is you're free to, if you want to join in a visualization and you've come into the stream here, you can type a 1 in the comment. That's always helpful for me to know who's participating. And for those of you that are going to do the visualization, just go ahead and make yourself comfortable. As long as you can hear my voice, you could be seating, you could be seated up, you could be slouching, you could be laying down, whatever you feel comfortable with, just be comfortable. That's the most important thing. And so, as long as you can hear my voice, we'll go ahead and we'll start the breath work. So we just want to start by connecting with our breath in through our nose, out through our mouths. Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Make sure you let out all the air, and naturally you'll just take in another big sip of air in through your mouth, in through your nose. This time I want you to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Just let it all out. And let's do that again. Take a big breath in through your nose and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let's do one more breath in through our nose and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Just let out all the breath. Just let your body relax. Let your mind relax. Let all your thoughts melt away. You can just let your eyes close down if they haven't. Just let your eyes relax. You just want to scan through your body as you just go back to your natural breathing, nice and relaxed, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just focus on your breath, but let's do a body scan. We'll go from the top of the head, go down through your head, through your face. Just looking for any subtle discomforts, aches, pains. If anything's there, just send yourself some healing. If not, just send yourself some love. You want to go down and travel through your neck, into your shoulders, your traps, your upper back, your chest. Again, just checking for any discomforts. Send healing. If not, send love. We'll continue down through our shoulders and our arms, elbows, down through our wrists, our hands, and our fingers. We're going to go back into our abdominal and digestive system. Scan through our groin, into our hips, our legs, our knees, into our calves and our feet, our toes. Again, just looking for any subtleties of ache or pain. We just want to send healing, restoration into those areas. And also, just send love to this beautiful body. Send your back some love. Just allow yourself to relax. Just connect with your breath. And as you're doing that, I want you to connect with the darkness as you have your eyes closed. I want you to really allow your mind and your body and your soul to feel the depth, the size of the darkness that's within you. I want to see if you can allow for your conscientiousness to travel out of your head, and for you to be conscientious within your chest, within your heart, to really connect with what's going on behind that breastplate. The lungs in the area, the heart beating steadily. Allow your conscientiousness to truly become centered there in your heart space. Try and pick up on your heartbeat. Even as you're still connecting with your breath, imagine the breath coming in through the center of your chest. And the exhale going out through the bottom of your feet. And as we leave the chest, I want us to go down into our digestive area and our stomach. Just be present with the activities that's going on there. Try and allow your conscientiousness, even you hearing my voice, allow that voice to be received from your conscientiousness within your stomach area, the digestive tracts. And as we leave there, I want to go down into our groins. Just be present with all that's going on there. As you hear my voice from that. As we continue down your legs, I want your conscientiousness to be in your feet, to be connected with the roots of your body. Just send your conscientiousness into your feet. And as you're there in your feet, I want you to picture yourself laying in a hammock. And you can hear waves crashing. And it's nighttime. It's warm. There's a gentle breeze in the air. And that gentle breeze just ever so softly swings the hammock that you're completely at ease in, feeling so relaxed in this moonlit beach setting. You can hear the waves crashing. And behind the waves crashing, you can just feel a calm, silent sound in the air. It's very peaceful and tranquil. As you're laying there in the hammock, you sit up and you start to look around, and you notice that there's some tiki torches glowing along the beach, leading towards a trail. And you exit the hammock and you begin to follow this path lit up by tiki torches that goes down towards the beach, along the beach. You continue to hear the waves and smell that ocean breeze. You can feel the glow of the moon touching and reaching down at your skin. You can feel the soft sand tickling your feet as you walk along this beach. And down ahead of you, you see a tiki hut. And it's lit up. It's a very intimate setting. And in there, there's someone sitting down. And as you get closer and closer to the tiki hut, you recognize the person that's there. And they smile at you. They stand up from their seated position and they welcome you in to the tiki hut. And the two of you embrace. And they're so glad to have you join them on such a beautiful evening here on this beach. And they ask you to come and sit down with them, and that they have a message for you. They are so excited to share with you. It's a very important message for this time right now. Receive your message. And as they finish sharing this message with you, you thank them. And the two of you stand up and give each other a big hug. You can feel the warmth from this person. And they reach down into their pocket and they say that they have something special for you. It's been something that they were holding on to that they wanted to give to you. And they're so glad that you're here today. So they reach into their pocket and you can't see what's in their hand. They ask you to reach out your hands together like a cup. And as you do, they extend their hand as a clenched fist, and they drop something in your hands. What is this item? What does it mean to you? What did it mean to them? Why would they give you this? You thank them for this gift, and you guys hug again. And you begin to walk towards the exit of the tiki hut. And as you do, you look back up the beach, and at the hammock is a young child. And you walk back towards the hammock, following the tiki torches. And you come upon this young child, and you realize that it's your younger self. I want you to identify what age you are. What are you wearing? What kind of hairstyle do you have? And your younger self is so excited to see you that they run up and they jump into your arms. They give you a big hug and they give you a kiss on your cheek. And the two of you are just so filled with joy. It's a joy that hasn't really been present in your day-to-day life recently. The joy is really coming from the heart of your inner child. Just that freedom of having that childlike, playful heart. It's probably something you really desire, rediscover in your day-to-day life now. And your inner child tells you that they also have a message for you tonight. And with great enthusiasm, you're excited to hear what they have to share with you tonight. It's a very important message. Receive the message from your inner child now. As they finish sharing this important message with you, you thank them for showing up. And they walk you over to the hammock and tell you to get back up in there. And as you enter back into the hammock, into that laying position, they reach over to give you one last hug as you're laying down. And they tell you that they hope to see you again soon. As you're laying on the hammock, you're filled with a new sense of joy and happiness. You're grateful for your messages and the messengers tonight. You enjoy this beautiful setting as you reconnect with the waves, that light, gentle breeze. You can feel that reflective power of the moon reaching down onto your skin. And here, for just a moment, you can reflect on what you've received tonight. You can also project as to who you want to be showing up as from this point forward, what changes you can make, what things you can do differently. As you finish reflecting, on the count of 5, you'll begin to reconnect with your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and open up your eyes, reconnect with your space. If you need to, you can stretch out a little bit. Just give thanks for the journey that you just went on. Have appreciation for all those involved, the spirits that are always present with you and available at any time. With that being said, I thank everybody for joining tonight. Thank you to everybody that has taken time to share the message, to like the message, all the new subscribers. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Keep coming back. If you haven't yet, consider getting yourself a 1% better everyday journal. If you're looking at really starting to break through some of your barriers, start to create some daily habits, this 1% better everyday journal, it's available in the shop. Or it's not too late to register for the Breath of Life Healing Group. You can sign up at resultskillexcuses.com. Click on the Breath of Life link, and you'll get all the information there as to how to participate in our 3 times a month Breathwork Healing Circle online group. We're going to start that on May 4th. So really excited. Thanks for coming back. Be Jazzy. Grateful for your presence. I hope that you enjoyed that journey and got some good information. For those of you that like to write down stuff, be writing down whatever you need to. And good to take notes on this stuff. A lot of these messages are intuitive. They may even be something you need to decode a little deeper to really get to the understanding of what it was that you needed to receive, especially if there was an item that was received. It's good to really, really think on that. Like, what was that? Why did that show up? So be curious, be investigative, but also be someone that starts to take more action and really ask yourself, what is your healing worth? What is it worth? What would you give up to truly heal your emotional states of being? Right? Would you give up your team for a year or forever? Right? Would you give up bad habits, unhealthy habits? Right? Would you give up people? Would you give up a job if that's what it meant for you to heal your emotional wounds? What would you give up? I know for me, I got to a place where I was willing to give up anything. Anything. That's what I was willing to give up. And that's what got me to the other side. And I'm going to keep going. So I hope that you will too. I love you guys so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here, being a part of this incredible community of Banff warriors. You know the drill. Results kill excuses. Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.